Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else, the Total Stick Network is proud to present the Total Stickcast. Now buckle up and enjoy the unscripted, unadulterated neurosis with your host, Paul Johnson!
That's right, I'm Paul Johnson, and I'm a freelance writer, author, vlogger, and creator of the Total Stick Empire. And with me again, he's a gentleman and a scholar, plus he's never been seen in the same room as Gary Busey, so they may very well be the same person. It's Ryan Blair!
Hey, everybody. Gary Busey, that's funny. I always get told that I look like Gary Busey's son.
Really?
Yeah, which I don't see a resemblance, but hey, you know, it certainly, it hasn't hurt me, but it hasn't helped me gain any movie roles either.
No, I can't imagine. So
No.
You're serious about that? People have told you that?
Yeah.
I didn't know he even had a kid. Like, I guess
Yeah.
he probably does. I should assuime that, but...
Yeah, no, Google that up and you'll definitely see the resemblance. But he's a B-list actor. He's not anything spectacular, and he's kind of a fucking doofus, but...
He's no Gary Busey.
Wow, Jesus, I don't even know if that means anything.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I think people say Gary Busey and they just think of him as this fucking ugly drunk guy.
Yeah, no, exactly. He's just a caricature of himself now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I guess I could see you kind of look... Jake Busey is his name.
Yeah, is that his name? Yeah, I didn't know his name, but yeah,
I
know who he is.
I could buy it. Maybe.
No, but see...
Yeah.
I got also, I look like Alan Tudyk.
I don't know who that is.
If you saw him, you'd recognize him. Okay. So if you're Googling him, it's Alan, and then Tudyk is Tudyk, something like that.
Yeah, no, that guy looks like a lot of people, but I don't think you look like him so much.
Yeah, I've been told, Gary Busey's son or Alan Tudyk, so I never saw really either of them, but I mean, I guess maybe I could pass as a Busey, but I don't know. The illegitimate son of a Busey.
Yeah. The son of a Busey man.
Yeah. Daddy!
Well.
As usual, we make things awkward first thing in the show.
Exactly.
It's good.
I was about to say, that's starting it off on a high. Good
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I now know two more actors, I guess.
You're welcome.
Well, podcasting's a weird thing. It's Christmas Eve, but this isn't a Christmas episode. It's going to be more like New Year's Eve episode or something like that.
Yes, it is. And I have trivia today for you.
You have trivia?
I have trivia for you today. And it represents New Year's. So it's something specific to New Year's, and so we'll get into that. It's good. I like this.
Yeah. I like that. Okay. This will be the last episode to air this year, but I think it'll be the second last episode we record this year.
Yeah.
If we record on New Year's Eve. So.
Which, we can. I mean, I have no plans.
You don't? Okay.
I just have a crack den, and I have updates or more to add to the crack den whenever we get to that.
Oh, okay. Well, we tend to start with our lives, so yeah, that was going to be my thing to you is, what are you up to this week? So yeah, what's going on with the good old crack den?
Yesterday morning, around 8:30, I heard screaming.
Uh-oh.
Yelling, screaming. I thought I've got a neighbor who lives right above me, and he has Parkinson's.
Okay.
So he's a big fella too, super tall, and he's got some girth to him. So he's quite heavy on his feet, and obviously Parkinson's is something you lose a little bit of control of your motor skills. So I don't put a lot of weight. Good guy, but I just assumed that and I'll hear some noise from his place quite a bit vocally, and so I just assumed maybe it was something coming from him. Maybe he fell over. Maybe he couldn't get out of bed. Maybe he was just frustrated or something. So I didn't put a light. It didn't bother me, right?
Okay.
It wasn't like somebody was sitting 10 feet from me screaming. So
Yeah. Is this like angry yelling and screaming, or screaming like horror movie, like ah, or is it like
no? It was like angry screaming, not
okay,
not yeah. So, and then a couple minutes later, there's a knock on the door next to me because there's 2 suites in the basement.
Okay,
and so there's a knock on my neighbor's door. And I didn't hear any response. I just heard the person who knocked saying, "Shut the fuck up! It's 8:30. I'm trying to sleep." So apparently it wasn't Scott who lives directly above me. It was the guy adjacent to me. And so I, at some point yesterday, I had to pop out for a pack of smokes and everything. And the girl that had come down and knocked on the door. I'm not going to use names because, well, I guess I already used one name. Shit. Anyways, I won't use any further names. She was outside having a hoot, and so I was just like, "What the fuck was that about?" And so I talked to her for a few minutes, and she goes, "Well, I could smell meth." She goes, "I haven't done it in 15 years." She goes, "But it's a smell you never forget."
Yeah, I bet. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, apparently she's smelling meth, and she lives directly above the guy next to me. So apparently he's in there smoking meth. And she's been noticing that he has quite a few questionable people that come over here on a regular basis and stuff like that. So so I mean, I guess the landlord was informed and he just said, well, if that kind of shit continues, just call the police.
Yeah. Wow.
Right, not blowing it off or passing the buck from the landlord perspective. He's just saying, well, absolutely, in the event of something, right?
Yeah. No, I'm not. If I'm him, I'm not going down there and rapping on his door as he's coming down at 6 o'clock in the morning. No. Like, call the fucking police. They got guns. Call the fucking police. Yeah.
Well, and it's also, I mean, from a landlord perspective as well, it also strengthens a case in the event of eviction, right? So, but yeah, that's my update for stories from the crack den.
Wow.
Also had some plumbing issues. I think we discussed that on the last show. So the plumber came out, ended up having to. It was backing up in the shower. Toilet wasn't flushing. They were using the manual auger. Didn't do anything. Used it in both the shower and the toilet. Didn't do anything. Used the power auger. Didn't do shit. Took the toilet off and used the power auger. Didn't do anything. So something. I think it was like I don't know. Maybe like a miscarriage got flushed down the toilet or something. Right, because he says, yeah, something's in there. So I guess he took the plunger to, because it's now flush with the floor and the gasket for the toilet, and he just went to town and it just kept blowing back in him. I mean, it was a sad scene in my bathroom for a while, and it looked like a Taco Bell disaster. And then,
no.
Yeah, but then it just, all of a sudden, poof, it went down. So we got it out. We still, the mystery, we have no idea what it was.
Oh, wow. Well, knowing the kind of things your neighbors are into.
And then lastly, we didn't have a washer and dryer in the building for about a month.
Okay.
I guess there was coin-op machines. And I guess that the person who used to live in my suite, I guess, had fucked with it, trying to steal the money for crack, and screwed it up and broke it and all this other stuff. And so they were taken out. And so the landlord just put another set of machines in there. Okay. Thankfully, not coin-op, so free laundry, which I'm quite happy about because I think I pay a lot for rent that I should get free laundry.
Yeah.
And so I was the lucky one to go and put the first load in. The machine filled up and then shit the bed.
What?
So for 2 days, my clothes have just been sitting, soaking in the washing machine. Yeah.
Where did these things come from? Like, were they relatively new, or were they like a Kijiji special?
Yeah, I don't know. They were clearly used.
Okay.
I know he had an issue and it took a lot of time to get. I don't know how much effort he put into it, but I know that it's a gas dryer. And, electric dryers are dime a dozen on Kijiji, whereas gas ones not so much. So it took him a while to get some in here anyways, which is fine. But yeah, the washer shit the bed and it didn't even get one load in. So I had to text him the other day about the plumbing. And now I had to text him about this. I'm just like, hey, sorry to be the guy that always comes to you with bad news.
Yeah.
And I'm the type of guy that I feel bad because I'm sitting there going like, I don't want to be judged like I've done something. Like I ain't flushing babies down the toilet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're the one that finds the problem.
But I'm the one that or reports it. Like I don't know. I would assume based on that plumbing issue that other people in the house must have had some sort of issues.
Yeah.
Maybe nothing backing up, but maybe just toilet flushing issues or something. I have no idea. But, but I reported it and because it backed up, right? So, clearly, but yeah, so I just was like, no, I mean, I'm just dropping dookies in the toilet, guy. I'm not, I'm not flushing nothing, I'm not flushing needles and fucking, So, but yeah, that's my life, since our last recording.
Wow. So, is a move anywhere in your future?
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah, okay.
Sooner rather than later, but I mean, this place was only a temporary solution, for
Yeah.
yeah.
Of course, yeah. You have neighbors that might think that you're talking to them in the middle of the night, like you don't even need to.
Yeah. No, this has been an adventure.
Yeah, no shit. Wow. I don't even know. I don't know what to say. I've never lived in a place that bad. The worst I had was a creepy old man that I lived with who was really, really creepy though. He'd smoke crack in the middle of the day and everything and masturbate in the room and he'd be like,
oh God forbid somebody masturbates in their room.
Yeah, no, like, I mean, with the door open, like, shamelessly, I mean. And he was, like, an old guy. It was really weird. And he'd sit at the computer right in front of the door and just masturbate. Like, not with couth, not like, hey, I know we all share a house together and we all have needs. Let me just say I'm gonna take a nap and close the door for a bit. No, nothing. Like, nothing. Just, like, I'm just gonna sit in front of my computer and whack it. I'm sorry if you look. Like,
so he's a chronic masturbator with voyeurism tendencies. I mean, that's...
And a crack habit.
Well, and a crack habit, but don't we all? I mean, let's be honest. We all fart, we all pick our nose, we all fucking do crack. I mean, that's just, once you hit 18... Well, no, I think once you hit about 20 and realize that, hey, I was so looking forward to being an adult, but being an adult sucks shit. So, you develop a crack habit. I mean, that's just adults worldwide.
And did I mention the 19-year-old boy he kept around that he called his bitch?
Well, that's just sexual preference. At least the kid was legal. Right? I'm not the one who called himself a human toilet last week, so...
Well, touche. And then I found a picture of a human toilet for no reason whatsoever. Just on my natural tour of life, I came across that picture.
And I appreciate that you sent it to me, because I, of course, got a smile out of it. But I also very much appreciated that it wasn't a lot more graphic.
No, it wasn't, because I think I would have had to deliberately look for it. The whole point is I found that by accident.
Did you?
The
universe. Okay, the universe hooked you up.
That's
randomly.
the thing. That's why I said, like, Beta Midoff or whatever, like, out the wazoo. Like, that's. Do you know what that is?
No.
The Beta Midoff phenomena or whatever. I know I'm going to say that last one wrong. I think it's Meinhof. If I'm getting really technical, not Midoff. But, so that's the thing that happens. It's the phenomena that happens where if we talk about something that you haven't thought of in a long time or whatever, you're suddenly going to start seeing that thing.
Oh.
So if I'm like, have you gone skating recently? Well, boom. I don't think you've talked about skating recently, probably, right? Now we've said that. Now you can be going along. Suddenly you're going to start noticing ads that have to do with skate sharpening and shit. You're going to be like, skate sharp? What's it, 1940? I haven't seen an ad for what the fuck? And you're going to be like noticing shit to do with skating. Suddenly YouTube's going to be like, fucking here's some skating fails. You're going to be like, why? What's with all this skating shit? And that's the thing, because it's just like, the idea is it causes your brain to be more aware of things that it's glancing over because it's not, of significance to your life until it becomes of significance to your life or whatever, but it's like this whole phenomena they've studied.
Well, and it's funny that you mentioned that, because I actually had this conversation, a similar conversation with Naomi the other day. She bought a new truck, and we're driving along, and she mentions to me, she goes, I didn't realize how many of these were on the road.
Exactly. That's
right?
the
And
easiest example.
Yeah, and I recognize that all the time because anytime I've gone and bought a car, I recognize those. I start seeing those cars everywhere. Mm-hmm. Right? Or truck or whatever. Vehicle, anyways. I start seeing those vehicles everywhere. So, yeah, absolutely. You know.
Yeah. No, freaking A. So, yeah, there's a name for that now.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's
a thing.
So, what's new in your life then? What's that all about?
Well, all my plumbing still works fine, both biologically and in the washer. And yeah, right. Going for that awkward thing again, I think. And I don't live in a crack house. I just still have a very tiny apartment. But I'm sicker than I was last week. Last week, so like 2 weeks ago or something, I don't even know now. A week and a half ago, everything's just a blur. I got like a legit flu where I was like throwing up and in bed and done for. And then I managed to scrape myself back together, and I felt really good for like a day and a half. And then, well, almost really good. I was really tired. Now after that, I just got the Christmas episode of the Happy News podcast out, and I lost my voice after that. And now my throat's just trashed. I'm doing the whole sniffling, sneezing, gunky, dripping holes bullshit. I just now. I'm just a cold worn over for the last 3-4 days, so I'm not happy.
Jägermeister.
Yeah, right. That shit'll kill you. My God, I'm not a Jaeger fan. I do have a suspicion that I drank myself healthy. There's this one really weird incident that just stands out in a barrage of several years of just being drunk, and I was really sick. Like flu sick, and I drank a whole bunch of fucking tequila one night, and I swear to God I woke up healthy, and I have no idea.
No, that's the thing. It is. That's the thing.
Apparently, it must be. And then last night, is it last night still? Yeah, last night I went to my wife's church for I talked about that during the last episode.
Yeah.
Because she goes to like a mega church. So went and saw the concert there and all that stuff for Christmas. And, yeah, and so, okay, so no, bigger story than that, bigger story. Okay, let's talk about that. I was going to get all schmoozy. So, okay, my wife is a camera tech at this church, okay? When I say mega church, I shit you not. Like, there's screens up in case you can't see what's going on stage. You can look at the screens and shit like that, so, all this different stuff. They stream it live on the internet, blah, blah, blah. So, so she's a camera tech there. And yesterday they do this whole huge show and all this shit. Last week she was there at dress rehearsals, freaking till like 11 o'clock. She got home at night doing dress rehearsals up there. And yesterday she went at 7 a.m. and we didn't leave there till 5. And they did a total of 4 shows.
Wow.
So then me and my parents went to the last show. And it's really good. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, there's simply a skill to putting something together. It doesn't matter if you're murdering orphans up there. If it's put together well, if it's lit properly, if all the elements are there, I mean, it's, there's nothing like a live show. And I'm like a real sucker for that whole production value of it all. But no, so, just standing there, cause I'm not in it for the religion or anything like that, so I'm just kind of standing there. I enjoy the music and stuff like that. But I shit you not, every time there was like some big musical swell and like a tight zoom on a guitar or something like that on the main screen, inside I was just like, that's my wife! That's my fucking wife, damn it! That's like...
Did you just fall over?
So into it all the way for that.
Did you just fall over?
What's that?
Did you just fall over?
Yeah, I lost my headphones.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought.
And I tried to play it off.
You were just so filled with the Holy Spirit and the love of your wife that you just you fell over and started speaking in tongues.
Yeah. I wonder what that sounded like. I can't wait to hear the recording of that. Because, I lost my headphones. I totally lost my headphones. The bump on my head didn't keep them on.
Nice. Yeah.
But long and short of it, I was just so fucking proud of her last night. I don't know. All the work that went into it, the whole production, I just wanted to love the fuck out of my wife on the show for a minute. That's all.
Awesome. Well, it's always good.
It was quite an event to go to.
Is she listening to the recording right now?
No, she's not. I don't even think she listens to the show.
Okay.
See the 10 minutes or whatever of flushing babies down the toilet before this.
Yeah.
It's not really up her alley. Per se.
Yeah.
It's not everybody's cup of tea. It's not.
That's fair. Well, I got a bit of a shock when we talk about significant others listening to the show. Naomi texted me in the middle of the night the other night going, "Oh, I'm listening to your show."
Oh,
and
no.
And I just went, shit. But it's half in the middle of the night. I went back to sleep or whatever. And so a couple days ago it was brought up and I said, "Oh, so you know what you're getting for Christmas?" And I guess so she didn't listen to the whole show, so she claims. And I'm like, "Are you fucking lying?" She goes, "No, that's all right."
Oh, good. Okay. Well, again, it's not for everybody, and it was like 2.5 hours long. I buy that she might not have listened to the whole show.
Well, she has problems sleeping, so, I mean, quite often she just, like, lays in bed, plays, Heyday, whatever, right? Maybe nods off for half an hour sort of deal. Yeah, she got some issues sleeping, so.
Okay. Well, maybe she just dozed off for that period of time, then.
Well, I'm just happy I guess it doesn't matter at the end of the day, but I mean, it would be nice, a Christmas gift being especially something from the heart would be more of a surprise than, oh, I heard it on a dirty podcast.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
God, I almost feel bad now. Something like this is bound to happen eventually. But hey, she listens to the show, so that's good.
We have one listener. Woo!
Shout out to Naomi.
Yeah, shout out to Naomi, our one and only fan.
Yeah. We used to pay more attention to that last time, keeping track of where our listeners were coming from. So I guess I should see if I have any new countries to shout out, and I do not. Hang on a sec. That's this week. Okay.
We should, while you do that, I'll just throw this out there. I mean, we should be looking at, having shows, at least segments in our shows, that have a little bit of something about our listeners. You know what I mean? Where they're from. Maybe some current news, preferably good news, or, current events sort of thing that go along with the Brazilian listeners or the, Jamaican listeners or, yeah.
Jamaican
right?
Sense. Yeah, no, I agree. There's, that's kind of, I know, right? There's the voicemail for that too. Hoping that people will, kind of like chime in and be like, hey, talk about this. Ireland. We have Ireland.
Well, of course we do. The Irish rock.
Yeah, well, there's one, so chill out.
Yeah, that's yeah, but you realize that they only have one computer in all of Ireland.
Oh, okay. So that's everybody's gathered.
That's everybody. Yeah, that's the country. They heard I was on the show, and then yeah.
You think it's like a sporting thing? They gather around every time we make it awkward. They just whole bar just erupts. Yeah.
Yeah. This podcast to Ireland is like Manchester United to Manchester.
There we go.
Yes.
I'm sure that's totally factually accurate. There can't be anything wrong with that. No.
No. That they all get on their bikes and they drive up to Liam's house, and which is more of a hut than a house.
Okay.
And yeah, they gather around with their Guinness and their whiskeys and and they make it happen.
And they just listen to us.
Yes.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why
not? True. It's true.
If that's not true, then if that's true, then I don't want to hear anything from Ireland. If it's not true, though, feel free to let us know. Otherwise, I'll assume that's totally factually accurate.
Well, there's probably going to be some haters in the group that are listening, just simply because it's like, wife drugged the husband drugged the wife down or something, right?
Yeah,
right. Try the parents trying to teach the kids about, Irish Canadian life.
There we go.
Right, or Irish Canadians, and so there is going to be some resentment from a number of those people. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, we can still get some hate mail for that statement, absolutely.
Yeah, good. I hope so. I like hate mail. Because it's mail.
Mail is good.
Yes. Anybody reaching out to talk to us is good. Please
also, talk to us. Please.
Thanks.
There's an 800 number. There's a Facebook page. Please talk to us.
We're so lonely.
Oh, there isn't an 800 number. Sorry, there's a phone number.
No, but and I thought about that, and when I was doing it, I thought, well, let's see if we get anything, and then I'll think about a 1-800 number. But then I apparently got on that bandwagon at a good time, because a lot of shows have started to do phone numbers and voicemail stuff and that kind of stuff. And you know what? Most of them don't try at all to have a 1-800 number. It's local to wherever they are. So you know what? I'm just like, screw it. People, long distance barely costs anything anymore anyways. So
yeah, still Europe and anything overseas is still expensive. And I mean, if you're calling the States, I mean it's not. I had, oh God. So I went and looked at my cell phone bill. They sent me an email saying we're cutting you off.
Okay.
Your bill is this. I'm going. Thinking to myself, I'm like, I pay my bill, Sometimes I don't pay it all at once, but like, I'll kick out $50 from that paycheck or from that paycheck or 100, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not the best at budgeting, so I just kind of throw money wherever. But I mean, like cell phone is something that's, I mean, unfortunately it is a big part of my life, and it's something that I use frequently and that I communicate with, and just like, most people. So I paid the bill, and I kept meaning to get online to check it, and so I just kept forgetting. So eventually, I get online, and I see that there's a $270 charge.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
And what it's for is for 586 U.S. text messages.
What?
Yeah.
What did you do? Are you calling Corey Hart again?
I don't want to talk about that. For legal reasons, I'm actually not allowed to discuss that any further.
Okay.
Privately or publicly. And then 7 picture video messages. I'm going, what the frick? Mm-hmm. So, turns out, somebody whose name shall not be mentioned decided to get one of these text me apps, and they automatically assign, unless you know otherwise, their numbers that they suggest to you are all US.
Yeah.
And I didn't pay attention to it, as this person lives in Calgary, and they know who they are. And so I was just like, for fuck's sakes.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah, so I ended up getting on with it. So, I got on with a Rogers manager, and I says, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even know anybody in the U.S. I'm like, I was out camping in the bush when those messages were sent. He goes, well, did you maybe meet somebody out at the campground? Campground? I said, I was in the middle of the bush, brother. I said, I didn't meet nobody. That's the point of camping for me. I'm like, I don't know what this is about. I'm like, and I just kept saying, I don't even know a single person in the U.S. Right? Yeah. So,
and
it did. They credited it, and they credited the account. So this ended up giving me, with a bill that had just come out or whatever, or was coming out the following day or whatever. That basically gave me, after money I'd already paid, so it's not free, but I don't have to worry about my cell phone bill now until next year. So
okay,
yeah,
nice work.
I thought so.
Yeah, no shit. That's a good public service announcement when it comes to those apps, for sure. Even when I set up the phone number for this show, because it's a virtual floating thing. It's not attached to an actual phone. Well, I guess all phone numbers are. But even when I set that up, I could deem where it is. And I mean, thinking of the times that I've called to test it, if I had chosen any other area code, I mean, I'd be calling New York. I'd be calling Nevada. Whatever,
Absolutely.
to test it, of course. Yeah.
Absolutely. And you know what? You just don't think. For a lot of people that use these apps, I think, you know, and I mean, I can't say a lot of people. I mean, I think for people, because there is quite a few people that have cell phones but can't afford plans or whatever, so they set up one of these free text and calling apps, and they can use it once they're in Wi-Fi range, sort of deal. And so I think, you know, for some people they're going to be a little bit more aware, but if you're not paying attention, if you're just trying to do it, yeah, absolutely, you can end up with a U.S. number, and for you, obviously, it's free, but then somebody gets a fat surprise. And I mean, you know, had it been $8, $10, right?
Yeah.
Or something like that. But I mean, yeah, it was like 75 cents a fucking message. No, that can't be right. 35 cents a message. Either way, it's crazy.
Well, yeah, well, you're texting the States with no plan to do so. Like, you didn't set up your phone to do that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's going to be expensive.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah. Yeah, so, you know, so I think that their charges are absolutely insane. When I was in Dominican and Vegas, one time I went to Dominican and I just turned my phone off because, you know, I was like, I had a camera. I'm like, I don't want these charges. I didn't even look into it, to be honest. But then the following year when I went back, I looked into it. It was $5 a day.
Wow.
So, you know, and I mean, that only gave you so much.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, when you're on vacation on a beach, you're not sitting there texting or this, that, or the other thing like you would when you're back home, right? But so yeah, and when I was in Vegas, same thing. So it was $5 a day. Which, I mean, you know, for the time you spent, I guess, while I was in Dominican, whatever, it was $50. When I was in Vegas, it was $50. You know, and I mean, which is fine, right? Right? It's, I mean, $50 extra on a bill is kind of a kick to the yichies. However, you know, when you look at the alternative, which I don't understand how the alternative is such a, you know, like a contrast between black and white, you know what I mean? Like, of charges. Like, it's absolutely nuts. It's nuts.
No, it definitely.
But that's it. Cell phones like to fuck you, you know what? They give you, like, so I pay way too much for my plan, and it's because I had a phone, right?
Already.
So I had, they gave me a phone. So, you know, I was paying for that as well as my plan. So my you know, and every time that I'm eligible for a new phone, what does this dumb shit do?
Yeah.
I gotta have the new iPhone, oh God! So this time around, you know what? I have a waterproof. They've now made iPhones waterproof, and as of the iPhone 7, which is what I have, and I have no problems with it. So you know what? This time around, you know, I'm not gonna upgrade the phone because I want to keep. I want to get my plan. Like, I mean, I pay $120 a month for my phone. It's fucking nuts.
No shit.
So, yeah, so I'd like to get down to, you know, I hear people, oh, yeah, I pay $40 a month for unlimited everything. And I'm just like, fuck you, I will hurt you.
Yeah, no shit.
know?
Well, yeah, but they're also with PJ Mobile, and they can't get customer assistance on anything after 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Like, and shit like that. Like,
they get customer service between 11:58 and noon.
Yeah. Exactly.
And the queue is always full. They serve 1.5 people. Oh, sorry, it's noon. Gotta go. Click.
No shit.
No, actually, somebody on Facebook the other day was asking about Freedom Mobile, and nobody had anything real nice. They said they have like $30 plans, and but even no, I mean, like, I'm with Rogers, been with Rogers forever, and they I think I can probably get a plan for, you know, $40 to $60 a month with the data and everything else that I use. So I'm looking forward to actually having a decently priced cell phone plan.
Mm-hmm. I heard something, and I don't have enough information on this to bring this up on a podcast, because
so don't do it.
I should know something about it. I know. But apparently there's something happening here locally for us, probably Canada as a whole, I guess. I think that's how these things work. Where carriers have to provide a data-only package now to people so they can use those apps for calling and stuff like that. So it'll be a really cheap, it'll be like a cheap data only package meant to work with those kind of apps that you're talking about, where you use like data to make phone calls and stuff like that.
Oh.
So, and apparently they're going to legally have to do it.
I haven't heard this, and honestly, I wouldn't get behind that because these apps. Well, I mean, it's just like anything. Okay, so I used to use BlackBerry, and then before I switched to iPhone, and I'm sitting there with my BlackBerry, and at the time, this is sort of at the start of smartphones. And, being able to like look at porn and Facebook and Google shit, that it made sense. I mean, I had an old flip phone that, an old Samsung flip phone years ago that, you could browse the internet, but, you could even browse porn. But I mean, it was so tedious. It was ridiculously tedious, and it took forever, and it wasn't a thing that made sense at the time. And so the BlackBerry, for me anyways, was one of the first ones that I was able to do that. And BlackBerry, they had this brilliant suppression system with their operating system. So for any kind of browsing, I mean, you weren't using as much data as the other phones that were being on. iPhone was out at the time. Android, I can't really speak to, but I would assume Android was also out at the time and stuff like that. So, I mean, like my iPhone, and I can't speak to Android right now. I would assume they're comparable, but the data usage is pretty hardcore, and you can blow through that data pretty savagely. And so I don't know. I don't know that would be a decent alternative. For one, I don't think it would be a decent alternative to be able to use these apps, these text-free apps, because then you would still be using data for other stuff, right?
In addition to that, your Facebook and stuff.
Yeah, so basically the only thing you're eliminating is your phone number, and which clearly is like the cheapest thing. However, I think you're going to have a lot of, for B, I think you're going to have a lot of outcry from users that pay for these plans that are full service plans, going, well, why does this motherfucker get 10 gigs or 20 gigs or unlimited gigs for $19.99 a month? I get 2 gigs and a phone number for $69.99 a month.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So like I said, I don't know anything about it. I can't speak to it. But I feel like that would definitely be a thing.
No, definitely, I agree. Well, I read that on a scrolling news feed on a transit platform. So I mean, I'm sure it must be true, and I have all the information I need. So
yes, absolutely.
So you're talking about data, so that came to mind. But yes,
I think I am in the mood to put you on the spot.
Okay.
So, I am going to start with our weekly Word of the Week!
Oh! It's Word of the Week time. I was expecting trivia, so you put me on the spot, and then you did a 180, so now I'm on the spot, and I'm facing backwards, and it's really, that's not how it works.
Yeah, you are. Well, I'm not going to be predictable. I refuse. Okay? So, I have a word here for you.
Okay.
And I have no doubt, because in my mind, I mean, again, like last week, I knew exactly what it meant. So I'm going to assume that you have a full explanation of this word, because you and I have similar brain pans. So your word this week that you need to define is theist.
Theist?
Theist. And I don't want you... Theist. You're not cheating here. You better not cheat.
Oh, okay. No, I'm not. So TH?
EIST. Theist.
I'm afraid I know what it means. Okay. Well, I'm gonna play the high road on this one. So what a theist is insects. How they have that ability to kind of like climb straight up the side of walls
Yes, like
and
Spider-Man.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the theists are those little the things on the bottom of their feet that enable them to get traction like that, because obviously they're defying gravity. You can't walk up a wall, right? It's because you don't have a selection of theists and certain pattern on your hands. That's why you can't walk up walls. That's really the only thing that separates humans from insects. In fact, from a strictly scientific standpoint, if we just had theists on our hands and feet, we would walk straight up walls, because that's the function of the theist, of course.
That would make police chases very difficult because a lot of police wear gloves. So criminals don't, right? So they would just go straight up a wall, and that would be the end of the police chase.
Yeah, and police wear large boots a lot of the time, so it would take a lot of time to undo those and stuff like that, to expose the theist surface.
Of their feet.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's, there we go.
Well, funny enough, you're close.
Okay.
Which is completely mind-boggling to me that that you're close. So, wow, like I'm speechless at this moment, and I have to commend Paul for being such a random genius.
I feel like either you're being sincere or I am so fucking wrong. One of those two things.
A theist is someone who is addicted to drinking tea.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Oh, clearly. Clearly
What
you
was
did.
your first hint?
Clearly you did not know that. Okay, so now, but that was good. That was good.
I tried.
You know what? If I didn't actually know what it meant, I would have totally not believed you. But there is people listening that will have believed you.
Yo, probably. There's somebody got a phone call partway through that, and now they're going to know in the back of their head over the holidays that that's what a theist is, and they're not going to know where they heard it, but they'll be pretty sure it's true.
Well, and that's it. Exactly. They got a phone call before the actual definition came out, and then they're walking around for the next month going, did you know Spider-Man? Do you know why he can crawl on walls and shit? Because he has a set of theists.
Because he's an insect.
Because he got bit by a spider, so naturally theist glands grew on his fingers and feet.
Yeah. Exactly.
So yeah, you're gonna make people look like fucking rocket scientists for the next month or so. So
until somebody Googles it.
until someone goes, you're a fucking idiot. Yeah. And then they're gonna throw themselves off a building because you know what, they prepared their thesis for their PhD on it, and it's just they're 7 years of medical school and it's just out the window.
Of course.
So I want you to redeem yourself.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go with the trivia now.
Okay.
So as it is whatever we're gonna air here on Friday, which is close to I don't even know what. I know what the date is today, but whenever New Year's is fast approaching, anyways.
Yeah, this comes out on the 28th, I think.
Okay, so anyway, so this trivia has to do with New Year's Eve.
Okay.
Okay, are you familiar with the New Year's song?
Like Auld Lang Syne?
Auld Lang Syne, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're gonna have some trivia about Auld Lang Syne.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, it's 5 questions. Okay. So let's see where you're at with Auld Lang Syne trivia.
Okay, let's do it.
All right. So, question 1: who is officially credited as the author of Auld Lang Syne?
Shit.
Right? No, it's multiple choice. This is multiple choice stuff here. Yeah, sorry, I should have explained that. So,
okay.
Robert Louis Stevenson,
Okay.
George MacDonald, Robert Burns, or Irvin Welsh.
I'm gonna. The second one was George. What?
George MacDonald. Yeah.
I'm gonna say George MacDonald.
Okay, you, sir, are wrong.
Okay. Was it Burns?
Yes, it was actually Robert Burns.
Yeah. That was my second guess.
It was Robert Burns. So I'm going to go through the question, and then I'm going to give you a bit of history about it, okay? Mm-hmm. So, question number 2. In what year was Auld Lang Syne written?
Oh, no.
1965, Jesus Christ. 1765, 1788, 1801, or 1792?
Oh, I'm stuck between the last two. 1801?
I'm going to say 1801, final answer?
Yes.
No, it was actually written in 1788.
Oh, I wouldn't have been right anyways. 92 was my other one. Okay.
Yeah, I know. All right. I thought I had 5 questions. What the hell? Maybe it's only 4.
Oh, you fail.
It was supposed to be 5. I forgot to write one down.
I had 6 flu questions for you last week.
I thought it was 5. Okay, well, hold on. So, the song's Scots title can literally be translated into English as... Okay, so Auld Lang Syne is Gaelic.
Okay.
Okay, so to transfer it into English, what... I do have 5 questions. Okay. What would you say that it translates into English as literally? Long time health, longer times ahead, old long sign, old long since.
Oh, the one I want to pick is the one I don't like the sound of the most. What's the first 2 again?
Long time health, longer times ahead. Or old long sign, old long since.
Okay, again, I'm gonna give you the 2 that I think it is, and I'm gonna tell you what my final answer. It's the first one or the last one, and I'm gonna say the first one. I'm not doing well, am I?
You are not doing well, sir.
Fuck.
It is old long since.
I thought so, and the reason I should have picked that is because that's in the lyrics.
Well, yeah, but old long sign is also in the lyrics. Well, ish.
Well,
see, old long lang syne. I mean, you can sit there and say it was some Scottish drunk fuck trying to say old long sign. And he was trying to sell it for more pints or something. How's that about old long sign? Yeah, old long sign. Let's sing a song about that shit.
Maybe.
We're talking about the fucking Gaelics here, for Christ's sakes. All right.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's such a reflective song. Like, everything's about friends forgotten and this, that, and the other thing, and so I felt strongly about that. Okay.
So there is, I just want to assure our readers, as well as yourself, that there is 5 questions.
We have readers?
Oh, for God's sakes. It's been a long day, alright?
I'm on your side.
I'm reading
Fair enough.
questions. I am a reader. Okay.
So you're just reassuring yourself?
Yeah, shush. Okay, you're not doing very well. You don't really have a lot you can really say. So it is old long since. It would be the translation. Now, who? So question 4: Who performed the tune? So the song at the 2014 Commonwealth Games closing ceremony. Was it Peter Andre, Rod Stewart, and Kylie Minogue, or John Barrowman, Rod Stewart, and Susan Boyle, or U2 and One Direction, or Dougie MacLean, Lulu, and Kylie Minogue?
Oh my God. I wanted... But 2014,
Don't even fucking pretend like you watch them.
I want it to be the first one.
So you're saying Peter Andre, Rod Stewart, and Kylie Minogue?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, I was going with there's different generations there. Like, it makes, like, whenever they do the Super Bowl or stuff, they try to trot people out that are different together, you know? Like, so, okay.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do. Slash and Fergie?
It is Dougie MacLean, Lulu, and Kylie Minogue.
I'm disappointed.
To be fair, I've heard of one of those people.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. So now the fifth question, which apparently I completely squirreled out while I was writing this out.
Okay.
But thank God for cell phones and screenshots, because I could have sworn that there was 5. And so there is. So I went back on my phone and I looked. Now, so number 5, for a complete wipeout of 0, okay, for you.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Just
I'm listening to this, like, how is this going to factor into the song? But I'm listening. Okay.
Complete failure. Okay?
Yes.
So,
I know. Thank you.
I either
I'm
crush
aware.
it or be crushed by it. And so I think we're going to be much more on the be crushed by it side of it. So, what does the song symbolize in China? Does it symbolize friendship?
What?
Health?
Okay.
Happiness? Or death?
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah.
I have no idea. The first one was friendship?
Friendship, health, happiness, or death?
Oh, fuck. Let's go all in. Death.
Come on.
I wanted to say friendship.
I will let you revamp your answer.
Okay, friendship then. Those are my only 2 close ones.
Ding, 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 ding!
Well, because it talks about friendship directly in the lyrics.
But it could also mean health. Could mean happiness. I mean, Old Lang Syne, is associated with New Year's, and it's New Year's is associated with new beginnings and health and happiness and friendship, obviously, because you're at a party, whatever. But yes, it is friendship. So
okay.
You got 1 out of 5 right. I'm very impressed.
Really? Yeah, I thought you were going to say very disappointed.
No, I'm impressed at your failure.
Okay.
So a little bit about Old Lang Syne. Now, Robert Burns, for those of the listeners that don't know, is a famous Scottish poet, clearly in the 1700s. He actually did not write the song. Old Lang Syne is a song that has been around. It did originate in Scotland. It's been around for a very, very, very long time, longer than the 1700s, because that was from then to now is a very, very long time. But has been around for a very long time. And he actually got it, wrote it down, probably fucked with it a little bit, maybe, but from the old timers. And from the old timers, it had been passed down. But at that point, it had not been put into writing. It had not been put into song, books, etc., right? So that's sort of a little bit of the history of that song. Is that it did originate in Scotland. Robert Burns is credited for it, but it's actually not completely his work.
Okay. So he's just the one that wrote it down.
But I mean, a guy like Robert Burns, right? Like I say, famous poet. I mean, so he probably fucked with it a bit. And I mean, let's be honest. As a kid, we all played the game telephone or operator or whatever we want to call it, where one person starts with a sentence, and then by the time it gets 20 people down, it changes, right? So So with all the passing down of this song or of this proverb, or nobody really knows what it originated as. It very well could be 99% Robert Burns. I don't know.
Yeah,
There
no
isn't,
doubt, eh? No doubt.
Right? I mean, we're talking, like I said, 1700s.
Yeah. Well, it's slipped into the Creative Commons now, so it's no longer music that needs to be licensed.
No, I did not, and thankfully you have fast fingers.
Well, no, I knew that. The reason I knew that is because I have a New Year's episode for THNP coming up, and that's why when you said we're going to talk about old anxiety, I'm like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, okay, I got it. I bet this is one of the questions. Yeah, I know what's going on. And then you asked me things I would never have known. But that's why I hope for the educated guess clause.
And you know what? To be fair, I mean, the Chinese thing, okay, fucking knows. Oh, that was the other part of the history I wanted to throw out there is that, and sorry, I didn't just read this. I was going to keep this page up to read it, but, as I have the memory of an elephant, I figured I'd just remember all this. So this was sort of the interesting part of the song, outside of what's already interesting about it, is that the song, obviously, it did originate in Scotland, okay? And so it is sung worldwide. It is recognized worldwide for New Year's. So basically, the reason for that is because people left Scotland, right, and immigrated and traveled and relocated, etc., to other parts of the world, and then it was a snowball effect. So this is why. I mean, it's not hard to understand why, for example, Canada or the U.S. may have this as a New Year's song, because a lot of the Gaelics they immigrated, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, this song is recognized, in Germany, in Finland, in India, you know what I mean, like.
Yeah, way wider than you might think.
Yeah, so it is a worldwide recognized New Year's song, and that's the reason for it as well. Is that people, I mean, again, word of mouth, but yeah, word of mouth essentially is that this song was not only was it carried down from who knows when in Scotland. Mm-hmm. To the point that somebody actually did something with it, but carrying forward, it was brought to the world. So,
okay,
yeah, that's the thing. So I'm not going to judge you harshly on your answers simply because, like I said, the China thing. I don't know. We know everything's made in China, so the fact that the song wasn't made in China is mind blowing in itself.
Well, yeah, but it couldn't have been made in China. Look how long it's lasted.
Oh yeah, that was definitely a bada boom.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, good on you. That was very quick. When it was written, yeah, I'm gonna judge you on that a little bit. I didn't know the answer. And to be fair, had you given me the same quiz, I would have failed as hard or harder. Because being Irish, it's close to the Scots, and the only thing I even recognize about any of this is Robert Burns. So
okay, the reason I picked 1801 is because I was trying to imagine, and I was just thinking that like it's had such an impact, this, that, and the other thing. People obviously, wanted to carry it on, whatever. So I figured a time when society is kind of optimistic, and I thought like entering this new millennium, you know what I mean? Entering this new, you know what I mean? Entering this new century, blah, 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 blah. Like I thought it might be a good time for people to be creating, these kind of things. Right? So that's what I was going with. There was a turning point for society at that point in time.
That's sound logic. I'm not gonna.
I thought so.
I'm not gonna take that away from you. I'm gonna have you let you have that victory.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of old things, Angela Lansbury's working a lot these days.
Oh, she's finally back on the corner. It's fantastic.
We talked about the Grinch last. We talked about the Grinch last week, and she was in that. She had a little spot on there. And tomorrow I'm going to see Mary Poppins Returns.
I am excited about getting that movie in very legal and legitimate ways.
Oh, well, why don't you get that movie in legal and legitimate ways? Since I'm going to see it tomorrow, we'll do it on the next episode.
Possibly. Sometimes my legal and legitimate ways are delayed. Recently, I did procure some legal and legitimate copies of some movies that I'm quite excited about. Aquaman being one.
Okay.
I have a bit of a lady boner for Jason Momoa.
I don't even know who that is. Do I know who he is?
Yeah, you do. I'm not even the one people think are gay, Paul, and I'm in love with a man. Okay, so
how do you spell his name?
Well, Jason.
Momoa. Yeah, okay. I know how to spell Jason. You fuck. Yeah, I recognize.
Okay.
Yeah, I recognize him mainly from all the Aquaman footage, but yeah.
Well, and he was in he was Conan. Okay, he did a Conan remake. He was in Game of Thrones. That's the first time I've seen him. And you know what? Like, I'm not gay. And this, but listen, and this, what, I'm so glad. I am really honestly glad for the switch, the of people's perceptions and mind frames and everything of the LGBT community. Because I think because of that, more heterosexual men are able to express, just be able to express things about men or to men that years ago would, when I was growing up, I could have never hugged my friend, been like, "Sup, bro?" Yeah. Right? And now it's like a man hugging is normal. You know what? Women for me anyways, for as long as I can remember, I have a girlfriend go, "Hey, that chick got nice tits. She got a nice ass. She's gorgeous." This and that, right? It wasn't always like, for women on women, it wasn't, obviously lesbian porn, has been probably accepted on a wider range than man on, or gay porn, man on man porn, homosexual porn, whatever. So and I've always been enlightened in regards to that. Like, I've always said, I've always been able to say, hey, like, that guy, he's a good looking guy. Like, he's a good looking guy. And I never felt no shame about it, right? So Jason Momoa and Ryan Reynolds are probably my two man crushes.
Okay.
No, absolutely. I think, and knowing a bit about both of them, like, obviously I don't know them, and I just see what I see on the internet or read about, and, Google whatever, naked pictures. But, the thing is that both in very, very good shape, right? Look great without a shirt on, so fucking kudos to them in a major way. Good looking, sexy, and they have certain auras about them that make them sexy. Is it just physical attributes? I don't know. That's where as a man I can't say, because then that becomes attraction, and I'm not attracted to them. I just I appreciate their beauty, but personality wise, Ryan Reynolds, him and I find a lot in he's funny as fuck. And he's just inappropriate, and him and I feel have a very similar sense of humor, where it's just like on the cuff, and fuck him, So I'm very much like that. And then Jason Momoa is actually, I watched a video the other day from Lad Bible, and he's sitting there playing beer pong, answering questions, and it's just it was hilarious. Like, it was very real. So. He plays guitar. I'm a big guitar guy. big music guy in general, and so again, two people that are very, very real.
Yeah.
You hear a lot about these celebrities and stuff like that are just absolute shitheads.
Mm.
And difficult to work with, etc., etc. And I mean, is it their fame? Probably. Is it because they're just in part assholes? Yeah, probably even more. So, anyways, I can appreciate them. So Aquaman, I'm very excited about. Bumblebee, because I mean, shit, it's Bumblebee for Christ's sakes.
That's the Transformer?
That's the Transformer.
Bumblebee.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And I think just looking through, and Creed.
Okay, I've heard
Creed
of that,
2.
but I don't know.
Yeah, Creed 2.
What is it?
Well, okay, so Creed. This is Creed 2. So
Yeah.
Creed is the original is a spin-off of the Rocky movies. Creed is the first Creed is about Apollo Creed's son.
Okay.
And then of course Creed 2 is also about Apollo Creed's son. So one thing, I mean, there's really not a lot. I'm not going to say no. I haven't seen the movie yet, and I'm not going to say a lot about a lot of it. But what I really respect. So the actor, anyways, just before I get into that, the actor is the guy in Black Panther, the bad guy in Black Panther, who everybody's just absolutely enamored with right now. Again, very physically fit, good looking black guy, and a really good actor. So, what I really love about the first Creed is simply put, it's an amazing fresh take on Rocky.
Okay.
And Rocky, I think I don't know, maybe I was just dreaming or talking to people about it, but one of the things that I'm aware of is that Sylvester Stallone has basically written and directed every single movie he's been in.
Okay. I don't know if I've ever heard that before, but it sounds like something I might have. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. So he had a speech impediment.
Yeah.
And he wanted to get into acting and everything like that, but people were just like, no, you're not going to make it, kid, he got rejected left, right, and center. And so his first movie was Rocky. And he actually sold his dog, which breaks my heart. More times than not, when I tell the story, I get choked up because I couldn't imagine having to do that. I love my dogs to death, and losing them for any reason is heartbreaking to me. But he actually sold his dog just to survive, because of getting the contract. So he wrote Rocky. So he says to himself, he goes, "Fuck it, I'm not going to get cast in any role. So I'm going to write a role for myself."
Yeah.
So which is amazing. And I mean, a lot of people don't give Sylvester Stallone a lot of credit for being a man of intelligence, because he just, he's just like, yeah, Adrian, and I like to get hit a lot.
Yeah.
So they don't give him a lot of credit for intelligence, but he's actually a very intelligent man, very talented man, not just in acting, but clearly writing and producing. So he ended up getting the Rocky gig with his script, and with the money he ended up buying his dog back. So there's a happy ending there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, absolutely it is. So, but obviously he played out the Rocky movies. I think, one of the last one or two movies was stretched pretty thin. But he's 150-year-old now. You can't put him in a ring anymore. So what's the next, what's the next step for him? Because I think it's a legacy that absolutely should, if possible, be kept going. And I think that this was a really good option, a really good avenue for them to go. So Creed is the first movie is based on Apollo Creed's son.
Okay.
And then there's a little history behind, the storyline goes and explains it and everything, and so Creed 2. Now, Creed 2, For people that have followed the Rock movies, have seen them, have the guy who killed Apollo, Ivan Drag, whatever the hell it was.
Okay.
The big Russian, right, who was played by Dolph Lundgren.
Yes.
So now Apollo Creed's son is fighting Ivan's son.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
So
I wasn't
good. Sorry, not to interrupt, but good.
Yeah.
Good for Sylvester Stallone for constantly finding somewhere in the acting world for Dolph Lundgren, because apparently he can't fucking do it himself. Because he just never gets. Anytime you put him in a role that isn't, like, I don't know, written for him or whatever, but that he man, it's just all his movies I've seen are just like, wow, did I just fucking watch that? And I don't mind Dolph Lundgren. I really don't. Like, I mean, there's some. I mean, obviously the Rocky movie, he was believable. It worked really well. Universal Soldier. The first 47 were good. The last 106 haven't been so great. Okay. But you know, all these other things, he just keeps getting typecast, right? Is this bruiser, and I just, you know what, I hate when I see an actor get typecast, because I think that they look at well, you know, Adam Sandler, he's typecast as a comedian and a goofball. You know, he's done a couple really decent movies that had, you know, were comedic, but they weren't his usual goofy characters that everybody fucking hates. I give Robin Williams, same thing. He did a creepy movie with Shudder.
Yeah, and 35mm or whatever. He did Good Will Hunting, right? He did a few that weren't comedies. I was gonna say with what's his fucking Adam Sandler. He's done a couple that were pretty serious, like Funny People and stuff like that, and like he's had a couple roles that I thought really made him stand out. I feel like he's done almost enough for me to buy that there's more there. Somebody that I have a big problem with is Ben Stiller. For that reason, because in my opinion, to talk about somebody who's relied on one fucking gimmick for 35 years, it's him.
He should have been Batman.
He should have. Well, he should do something else. He's got a face. He doesn't have one of those faces that you wouldn't be able to buy in anything else. You know what I mean? Like, you could arguably say when you see Robin Williams, you just see Robin Williams. I think you could make Ben Stiller creepy. I think you could make him serious. I could see him, like, yelling at somebody.
Ben Stiller. Sorry, Ben Affleck. Yeah, Ben Stiller, absolutely. Are we talking about Rob, or are we talking about the actual Ben Stiller?
Like, Ben Stiller.
Okay, we're not talking about Rob.
Rob? Who's Rob? Like, Rob Schneider?
Rob Street.
Oh, Rob Street, yeah! No, yeah, Rob Street, yeah.
That's bad when I have to explain it, but it's okay. You weren't feeling my Wi-Fi, my mojo, so it's fine.
No.
Yeah, no, continue. I agree. Ben Stiller, yep.
Yeah, very, very, very too comfortable with the one character forever. That's all. Yeah.
It's been the same. He's goofy, he's incompetent, Yeah, like, I mean, you look at, I watched Tropic Thunder the other day, right, and yeah, the character is kind of there's no depth to him whatsoever as an actor and his characters, and absolutely, I think that, I think he's capable of doing something. I mean, you know, I look at, you look at a funny man like Robin Williams, okay?
Yeah.
And when I saw him, doing like real creepy shit, man, that's believable as fuck to me, because it really is. I mean, funny and creepy, they kind of are the same, but they're they're two completely different depths that you can go. And you know, well, even Jim Carrey, he did a couple horror movies and stuff, and so same thing. Like, put these funny fuckers into these horror thriller movies, right? Yeah. Let them stretch their legs, because Ben Stiller's got those eyes, man, and that just he could pull off. I could totally see that.
Yeah. Exactly, and I'd like to see that. I'd like to see him. It would mean a lot to me. But from the standpoint of a fan, it would mean as much as it could to me to see somebody stretch. Like, he's been in the industry for so long. Like, so many people, have grown up seeing him in film and this, that, and the other thing. Like, from that standpoint, it would mean a lot to see him do something. You know what I mean? That was different. And I feel like Adam Sandler's paid that debt more than Ben Stiller has by a long stretch. You said something about Sylvester Stallone that really impressed me, so I went digging here. I've been digging while we were talking about Sylvester Stallone, and you're right. He has written a huge percentage of his movies. He definitely hasn't written everything he's been in, because there's some standout Stallone flicks that he's, like Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. I associate that with him. Yeah. Tango and Cash.
Yeah.
Sorry, I said Tango and Cash, but then I kind of died out halfway through. Tango and Cash. Yeah. There's been a few big ones he's been in that he hasn't written. But yeah, all the Rocky ones. And what he doesn't write on, he often produces. He wrote the screenplay for Cliffhanger.
Yeah.
So no, yeah, definitely. And I'm somebody who's guilty of underselling Sylvester Stallone by all stretch of the imagination. So I think that's worth saying. That's worth fact checking and bringing to the surface. Because
absolutely.
Yeah, he has.
Absolutely,
he's done a lot of writing.
He is a self-made man, right? Like, he is a self-made man, and he had a dream. He wanted more for himself, and look at him. He's got some of the I don't want to call them cult favorites, because I think of cult favorites as things like Clockwork Orange.
Rocky Horror.
Yeah, Rocky Horror Picture Show, absolutely. But he's got these movies that are timeless, and his most of his timeless movies are ones that he created for himself, characters and movies he created for himself, and he said, "Fuck it, I'm going outside the box, I'm going outside the norm, and I'm going to be more than what people are viewing me as." And like I said, I mean, he comes off as a bit of a lunkhead, but he's quite intelligent and talented in more ways than we see. So, yeah, and he's been through some struggles, some serious struggles in his life, and so, I have a ton of respect for him.
Yeah, no, definitely. I have more even since we've started having this conversation than I probably did once upon a time.
So, do you have a man crush on him now?
Now I challenge Steven Seagal to change my mind about him, because he's he's my next paperweight in line.
Don't even talk to me about that fucking guy. Yeah, he may write his movies, he may fucking do a lot in terms of producing, directing, whatever his movies, but let's say 97%, and I'm being kind, of his movies are shit.
But does he write his shit?
I'm not 100% sure, but I know that he has a lot to do with his movies. And I'm not 100% sure about his earlier works, which were actually decent. But the last, I think, 72 movies he's done have been absolute flops, and just, again, talking about typecasting, that is a man that I do not see going outside of the Aikido master who saves the fucking city or the world, or, because I don't believe he has any depth whatsoever.
No. He has the range of a sold out oven store. Yeah. Okay. He doesn't
Again,
write
that
most
was
of
really
his...
bad. It was.
I know,
witty,
but
this
is why I don't.
Bad.
This is why I don't smoke on the show.
And and you're supposed to be a freelance writer, you can't be more fucking creative. You're not selling yourself right now, Paul. And I believe that you can be more.
That's because I get to write things down and then go back and edit them afterwards. Nobody said I was good on my feet.
Yeah, well, you're sucking real bad this episode.
Most
time I love it, but today I'm not feeling it.
I'm here too. I know. I am also suffering.
Okay.
Steven Seagal produces a lot of his stuff, but he does not write a lot of his stuff. So, and he doesn't do it alone. It's generally him and a whole bunch of people produce.
But okay, so when we talk about somebody writing their stuff, okay. Now, so Steven Seagal has some assholes, and don't tell me he doesn't. He has some assholes sitting around eating Cheetos, drinking extra large, Circle K cups of frickin', pop and Slurshee and everything like that. And don't tell me he doesn't have input, because every movie's the fucking same.
Oh yeah,
And
no,
so
definitely.
he's involved in the writing process.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
if
and
his name is on it, the idea is, as far as I know, and feel free to correct me, listeners. The idea is, if his name is on it, then he at least led the writing room, which means that of all these people who are gonna say, well, how about Rocky rides in on a unicorn, because unicorns are popular this year, and this other guy who's gonna say, no, he wouldn't do that. Give Rocky a gun. He needs a gun in this one. That he has to be the one to sit there and look at the story and look at what needs to happen, and he has to be able to focus all of that into writing a straight up screenplay that is able to actually tell a story that isn't craziness.
There's
right?
one thing that I do have respect for Steven Seagal.
Okay.
I mean, aside from the fact that he's rich, he clearly made it. I can't speak to his personality. There was a reality show out there. Apparently, he's a cop as well.
Yeah, I heard that.
And I watched a couple of those shows, and I just, they were dull as fuck, just like his voice. But the one thing I do have respect for him is being an Aikido master. Now, one thing, I'm a big fan of his martial arts. I love UFC. I did quite a bit of martial arts training when I was younger and everything like that. And Aikido was one thing I never did get into. However, Aikido and Tai Chi are very similar because they are a passive martial art. And a lot of people, when I say Tai Chi, people are going, yeah, okay, a bunch of old Chinese guys in a park fucking moving the pace of a turtle. Right. But honestly, this is Aikido and Tai Chi are very similar in those regards, that it's deadly as fuck. And I had I had a teacher one time who was a Tai Chi master.
Okay.
And at the time, I was younger. I was 17, 16, and I was a bit of a street fighter. Yeah, that was weird. Should we? What happened there? Who was that?
I have no idea. Nobody else has the password. I don't have a clue what that word would mean.
Yeah, no, I heard that, and then I just assumed you disconnected, reconnected.
Like, what's the possibility? Like, how would somebody accidentally get onto here?
I don't know.
I guess we can keep going because he's not there. So, if this remains in the show, a complete stranger just wandered into our chat server and left.
That's rude.
So,
at least say go fuck yourself, right?
Yeah, say something. Like,
Yeah.
whoops.
Yeah.
This isn't where I parked my car. Just something. Yeah.
So I was a bit of a street scrapper at the time, and everything like that, and so this teacher, it was a specialized program, so he, we were all a bunch of gangsters, a bunch of tough guys, criminals, scrappers, this, that, and everything, and so we would often jokingly aggress this teacher. His name was Mr. Jansen. And he would Tai Chi the fuck out of our asses. Like, guy would barely move, and we would be on the floor, or we would be up against a wall, or pressed up against a table, right? And in extreme amounts of pain. So, this is why I say I have a lot of respect for Steven Seagal, just simply for that reason, that Aikido is an incredibly deadly and powerful martial art, and he is incredibly accomplished. So that's all I can really say about that. His acting skills have much to be desired, and his movies have even more to be desired, and I really think he should just not be a cop or an actor, take his money, and I don't know. Just go. Just stop.
Yeah.
Just stop.
Yeah. I don't dispute that.
Yeah.
Apparently he is legit. Aikido, karate, judo, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, kendo, and shichu ryo. I don't know what that is.
Kendo, oh god, okay. Kendo, so I'm trained in kendo.
Okay.
Do you know what kendo is?
No.
Kendo is essentially a bunch of guys beating the shit out of each other with bamboo sticks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's fencing, but angry fencing. It's not.
Okay.
It's not. What's that word? Like, it's not graceful. It's it's literally it's bamboo sticks. You have a face mask, and it's sword play, and that's that's kendo, and kendo hurts like a motherfucker, and I don't know. It's kind of pointless.
I feel like I've seen videos of this.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen one of those "what the fuck were they thinking" videos or whatever, like, of that kind of thing. That's like they have full armor. Like, I don't even know how to describe. It's like you dress up as a knight, okay, and you get a couple giant like fucking. They look to be like 35-pound swords,
broadswords,
and then you swing, and then you broadswords, and then you go in and UFC the shit out of each other.
Oh god, you know,
and like a
jousting.
Ton of metal
how fun
shit.
would jousting be?
Yeah, no shit, real life
dude,
joust. Yeah,
jousting. Okay, but let's think about this for a sec. Jousting is a real fucking thing. This isn't just shit we see in the movies. This happened at one time. And I mean, how tough did you have to be? I get that you're wearing armor. Like, I get it, right? But how tough did you have to be to joust? Because I'm sorry, even with armor, okay, you're getting a big stick to the fucking head or the chest or the, and you're, and not only that, but you're riding a goddamn horse. Now, I don't know how fast they gone, and I'm assuming, like I seen, because they do have real life jousting sort of stuff. I mean, I went to Medieval Times out in Toronto, and they had jousting. Okay, and I mean, like, I have no idea how much they change up the jousting sticks. I don't know what they're called off the top of my head. I'm sure I do, but lances. There we go.
I'm not even sure, and I'm looking at it.
They're called lances. Now, I don't know how much they sort of change the lances up from the originals. But I mean, you're driving, you're riding, you're whatever, you're moving towards somebody at similar speeds, so that doubles the impact, and you're getting hit with a stick. I don't care if it shatters.
Yeah,
I mean, back in the day, people died from this shit. Like back in the medieval times. I mean, this shit. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. We you know what? Today we fucking play golf. Okay? Like we fucking play like polo. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, these are the tournaments we deal with today. Basketball, football can get rough. Baseball, not so much. Hockey, not so much. Has its moments. But, I mean, this goes to show how we've just turned into pussies.
Well, UFC. UFC.
Okay,
right?
but UFC isn't a team of like 25 people that change it up every few minutes, whatever, for different positions. I mean, this is one guy against one guy, so this is gladiator shit. And we're always going to have gladiators. Always.
By the way, they do have Battle Royale UFC, and it's the most fucked up shit.
I will have to YouTube this shit because if it's anything like the Royal Rumble from fake-ass WWF, and I refuse to call it WWE because it's WWF to my generation.
Well, it's WCW if you want to go there.
No, that's a second one. That's a different one.
That's a separate thing. Yeah, it is.
Now, that's where that's what the WCW is, where all the fucking has-beens like Hogan and Ric Flair, and that's where all those guys went.
And some of them came out a lot were there. That's fair. The British Bulldog.
Those are the WWE classics.
Yeah, they wound up in.
Did
WCW.
you know Andre the Giant would drink? What did I read? This is a long time ago, but I read that it wasn't uncommon for Andre the Giant to drink like 36 beers.
Really? No, I believe it. I know he had a lot of. I mean, not to make it so dark suddenly, but I know he had a lot of issues. And I'm not saying drinking beer is an issue.
I'm just pointing out the substantial amount of alcohol that is. I mean, I'm a seasoned drinker. Okay. Well, I am. I mean, It's not something I'm proud of necessarily.
No, I laugh not because of your substance abuse. No, I laugh because I was gonna say, yeah, but you weigh one half of an Andre the Giant.
Yeah, but that's no, but for me, the thought of drinking 36 beers as just an everyday sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, no, like I feel like his 36 beers as a sort of his thing would be like my maybe half dozen drinks, just sort of chilling out, having a few drinks. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. The man.
Yeah.
Right? Oh,
No shit.
speaking of
No
fucking
shit.
alcoholics,
Oh, okay.
I saw a video the other day, and I don't know how old it is. A friend of mine posted it. It was Adam Sandler in concert singing a song
For Chris Farley.
for Chris Farley. Yeah.
It's the most beautiful fucking shit. I didn't know. I was watching the special. Nobody was like, here, watch this song that'll make you cry for sure. No, I was just watching a comedy special, going about my own business. He's like, I have something it really means a lot to me. I'd like to share with you now. I'm like, what's gonna happen?
Oh, so that's how it happened. Okay.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's amazing.
I did not cry.
I thought it was awesome.
I did not cry. I thought it was awesome. I absolutely thought
Yeah.
it was awesome, and I mean, I felt this pain, and you know, I bless you. You know, Chris Farley for me was never a big deal. I always thought he was a fucking retard.
Yeah, well,
And I know, I know that's
song.
I know that's his shtick, and I know, you know, but I'm sorry, and you know, maybe our show gets a little bit of fucking flack from this, but in that song, Farley was compared to Belushi and Candy, and I'm sorry, but no. No, and no.
Okay, I think it depends where you come from with it, though. So what's your biggest issue with that?
Oh, God. John Candy. I can't speak to a lot of Belushi because he's a little bit before my time. I've seen his shit. He's Belushi is Saturday Night Live alumni. You know, and that show has been around longer than me. You know, he put out some good shit, and yeah, I don't know. So Belushi, I'm just not even gonna touch on, because I don't have an opinion about Belushi one way or the other. You know,
Okay.
But John Candy is my generation, and you know, he put out some fucking great movies. They were comedic. And it wasn't John Candy being a fucking dipshit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You know, I'm sorry, but if you have no shame, it's easy to be a dipshit. I'm brilliant at being a dipshit. And you know, maybe it was just the time. I can appreciate Chris Farley's out of controlness. I can appreciate his ability to make people laugh. But, you know, I sit there and you know, and even with Adam Sandler's song, it really just highlighted how much of a dipshit Chris Farley was. It was heartfelt, but it highlighted how much of a dipshit he was, and it's just like, if I die, first of all, I mean, the guy had ridiculous substance abuse problems, ridiculous eating habits. People told him this shit.
Yeah.
And then he fucking dies. You know, and to me, he didn't die a hero because he died young, and he has a legacy of being a dipshit. You know, we can all sit there and appreciate the class clown. We absolutely can. Like, I can appreciate Chris Farley as a class clown. However, I wasn't in his life. Where's the substance of Chris Farley?
Okay.
See, maybe my
enough.
word of the day is substance, because I've used it quite a few times here in this recording. But where's his substance? You know,
I think you have a substance abuse issue.
yeah. You've said that. Thanks for letting the FBI know that, because you know they're listening to this. Although, shout out to all my boys in Ireland. Woo!
Yeah. No, I meant you were overusing the word substance.
I know it was a bad pun that you used yet again that you failed, and I tried to turn it around.
But it's telling that you went there. Yeah. Okay. Wait though.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No. I just there's some movies of his I appreciated and I got a giggle of, but it's even just like Adam Sandler with his earlier works where where it's like, yeah, you're funny, dude. You're funny. This is great. And then it was like the third, the fourth, the fifth, and it's all the same character. It's all the same voices. I'm like, dude, I'm kind of getting over it. But then he puts out a couple movies. He had Spanglish, Just Go With It. And again, they were comedic, yet they were, 50 First Dates was a good one. That started that. And where he went outside, where he was outside his regular fucking nonsense.
Yeah.
And he did a brilliant job. Click is still a movie I cry to at the end.
Okay.
Right? And I'm not ashamed to admit that. I mean, it's relatable. You know what I mean? It's relatable. We all go through the daily grind, and we and we wish we could just fucking push through that. But then, he's fucking missing all the good shit, and then he's old and dying, and he's just like, fuck me. I love you, and I'm on a ground in the rain fucking dying, and I'm sorry, and I love you, and I'm, and so, yeah, it was relatable, and it was touching, so no, but Chris Farley, I don't, and if I'm wrong, I hope somebody messages in or calls in, or, maybe you can correct me at some point. Probably not today, or maybe you already have Googled this shit. But I don't feel that there is a Chris Farley movie that was like that.
Yeah. Okay. So I wanna rewind all the way back now and start back where you started and do my shtick about this Adam Sandler thing. Okay, because I did have feelings on it, but they come from a totally different place. So I don't even have answers to the things you said. I just have something totally different to say.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why we do this.
Well, yeah. That's right. That's me. I'm now my reaction to it isn't because I miss Chris Farley or because I wish there was another movie like X. Pick a Chris Farley movie. I would even know, right? That had nothing to do with.
I'm trying to get around to saying my name right after
genuineness that I felt. So I'm trying to lead.
That's
what I thought was very touching about it, and what I thought was really amazing about it, because he took a second, he didn't cap everything off with a punchline.
But I didn't watch. I didn't watch a special. I saw the clip of the song.
Okay. But now, so that out of the way, I think the thing with Chris Farley too, over maybe John Candy or other people that we're kind of talking about or whatever, is the problem is that we didn't get to see that. That maybe there wasn't time to see that. Maybe he would have been a Ben Stiller in the long run, but I think the appreciation that he has from some of the people that he has, because people tend to hold Chris Farley in pretty high regard.
They do.
And I think you and I had the discussion about the Shrek casting. Well, there's the beginning of that. I think that arc was there, and I think the people he was associated with are there to say that he was gonna grow in that way. I mean, can you imagine Chris Farley as Shrek? What would that have changed? What would come after that? Well, a more family, side of things, more upper family. The way Adam Sandler went in that direction with something like Click. It's more upscale, but it's family.
Well, we did not have a discussion of the Shrek casting. You're confusing me with a different guest host, and I'm saddened and I'm crushed that
no.
That you
day drinking.
That you don't even know who I am. My name is Ryan.
Day drinking.
We talked about Shrek on day drinking?
Yes, because I did movie trivia with you, and we did the Oscar questions, this, that, and the other thing, and then my last question to you was who before Mike Myers,
Vaguely, I remember that. We were day drinking. All right, I digress.
Yeah. So, Chris Farley recorded by some estimates, like 92% of the track for Shrek. But when he died, they recast him. You can find it, though. It's all been leaked. It's all been leaked now. You can find a lot of it. And it's really interesting.
Well, I'll tell you, that pisses me off. I'll tell you that pisses me off. And for this reason only. Is that how many fucking actors... Look at The Crow with Jason Brandon. He fucking got shot.
Brandon Lee, yeah.
Brandon Lee.
Yeah.
He got fucking shot. Like, a quarter of the way through the fucking making of the goddamn movie. And they still produce. Mm-hmm. Right? And I mean, how many shows, how many movies have fucking done this? Well, not so much shows, because they can always rewrite. There was, who died? Heath Ledger died.
Yeah.
In the process of the movie, that fucking weird-ass movie.
I don't know what he would have been... I don't know what he was making when he died.
No. Okay, so, but, yeah, I'm gonna look it up while I'm talking here.
Okay.
And the thing is that they always, and you know, people die, shit happens, right? I mean, for whatever reason. And, you know, they, you know, obviously depending on the point of their recording, they keep going. And that's my point, is that they keep going. There it is, yeah. The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
really?
So he died, and so they fucking switched him up to, I think, Johnny Depp. So, and then they wrote it into the movie and stuff like that, and they still put it out. So, you know, the fact that Chris Farley could have been a part of something epic, and they just fucking, because he dies, they fuck him. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. To me, that's also an indication of how Hollywood viewed him. So that fuels my point. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not fucking saying I don't like the guy. I'm not saying he's a fucking shitty actor, because I would honestly outright say that I dislike Steven Seagal more than Chris Farley. Right? So don't get me wrong, but no, I don't know. That kind of upsets me a little bit, that he could have had, that could have been his legacy. At 92 fucking percent, even at 80%. That could have been his fucking legacy.
You know what that tells me, though? The only reason I can see, and it does come down to that's how Hollywood works, but what that tells me is that Shrek 1, 2, and 3 were written. They knew, and they didn't want to jar it because that would fuck up kids.
Oh,
and they didn't want to change the voice.
Oh, what? Harry Potter? Good talk.
Yeah, no. I hear you.
Dumbledore died.
Yeah, but they couldn't control that. They hadn't released... If Dumbledore had died before the first one was done, they might have reshot it to somebody else.
He did. He did 1 and 2.
Yeah. 1 and 2.
Yeah, but
not the first one. He was already established. With Chris Farley, they had the chance to Etch-a-Sketch before it affected.
But one had been released. He died.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, they didn't have a chance to Etch-a-Sketch that. He was in there, for better or worse. They can't take it out of the video stores. With Shrek, they had the chance to set the standard of what he was going to sound like for the next 3 movies. They had the chance
Mike Myers, you know what, I'm sorry. Movies. Mike Myers is a bit of a goofball, a lot of a goofball. He's also very talented. Haven't been a fan of a lot of his shit lately.
Yeah.
But I think he could have pulled it off. I think he could have mimicked Chris Farley's style. So I think it was. Yeah, it's Hollywood politics. You and I will never understand it, exactly. and sort of that's just the way it goes. And so, but like I said, as it stands, I don't believe that. And again, maybe this song was a personal note in regards to Adam Sandler as a human being, and Chris Farley as a human being, and John Candy as a human being. Because they have all that personal connection, whereas we see them on Saturday Night Live, we see them on stand-up, we see them, we hear them on the radio with their dumb shit, we see, movie, blah, 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 blah. Right? So this isn't who they are.
No, exactly. And a lot of these people are much different and much darker away from the camera.
Robin Williams, fuck.
Exactly,
right?
Yeah.
We all got our shit, and we all got... So maybe I'm just too fucking analytical or whatever, but I appreciated the song from a caring friend point of view. I did, I absolutely did.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
I didn't appreciate it from a Chris Farley perspective, going, the world is a worse place without him. For me, it's not. For Adam,
no.
Yeah, I'm sure
that's
it is.
what I think it meant.
Yeah.
That's what I think it meant. And I think that the reason, that's the other thing I wanted to talk about, and then we can get off of this if we want. Putting him in that lineage and talking about him in the same, breath as John Candy and
Belushi.
Belushi. Talking about him in that, I don't think it's a matter of these people all accomplished the same things in film. I think the point is these were people who excessively abused themselves. These are people who knew they could make a difference, and it just, for whatever reason, they hurt too much to change. And they all were kind of had this ability, and like John Candy and kind of Belushi in a sense, changed it up a bit, and they weren't always the same character, but they were always able to be shameless, so they were always able to go entertain people, but on the same token, they weren't able to say, no, I want to stop killing myself slowly. They all drove themselves down with that same long, even path of suicide. It is that ridiculousness, of the self-abuse. You talked about that. It is that self-abuse that I think puts them in that same category, because well-adjusted people don't get told, year after year, if you keep doing what you're doing, you're definitely not going to live long. And then they go, well, yeah, but it makes me feel better about the way my parents view me, or whatever the case may be, like that hurts them. That's not, a well-adjusted person doesn't react that way. So I think it's that suffering and that kind of illness or whatever, that slow death that you could see in all of them. I think that's why he put him in that lineage, not to say that these people are all equal in film or anything like that. I think that's how I took it off the cuff. So I never thought that he was saying these people are all equal actors. I thought he was saying these people are all broken in a very similar way.
Well, and I guess that's, excuse me, I guess that's the beauty of the song, is that we all interpret it in different ways. And, I mean, I think, even for me, I interpret it in the way that it was meant, but then I pick it apart for the way I am. But I think we all interpret it the same way, as we have a fella who had a friend that died.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think it was a beautiful thing. It was a beautiful tribute, and much love for that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God,
it was good.
You said moving on, so I am going to move on, and I am going to tell you a story.
Oh, okay.
Oh shit, this is brilliant.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Yeah. So here. Oh God, no, I deleted it, but that's okay. I got a text message the other day.
Okay.
And it was a girl that had said, I mean, long story short, who is this? You spam texted me telling me that you wanted to see me playing with myself and, all this. So, right off the hop, the number is not in my phone. It just comes up as a number.
Okay.
So I'm going, oh God, did I get drunk and did I do something that I shouldn't have? And, I always have that fear because I'm an asshole and I get lonely. I mean, it's not like I'd ever follow through on anything. But hey, sometimes even bad conversation is something to keep me occupied and not so lonely. God, I'm lonely. But
you're making me sad.
So Naomi was on her way over here. So anyways, I had a bit of a car. I thought it was a bot. to be honest. Yeah. So I was responding with, I think you have the wrong number. I mean, I have a girlfriend. I don't, you're not in my phone. And I'm like, maybe I can buy you some cats, crazy cat lady. So I'm thinking it's a bot. So anyway, so I tell Naomi about it, and she's like, oh yeah. So then she comes over, and I'm like, fuck it. I'd had a few drinks, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to call this number. So I call it, and it's a real person.
Wow.
Yes!
Okay.
So it's a real person. It's this 21-year-old girl named Tamara. So
Weird.
Hopefully she's one of the listeners. Hey, I had fun. But it was hilarious. So I'm telling her I'm a 57-year-old black man. I did give her my name. Oh man, I fucked with her huge. She's laughing. She's, oh my God. Right. And so I'm like inviting her over for a threesome, and I'm like, and she just had a kid. So I'm like, are you lactating? Right? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, my girlfriend, we love threesomes, and she loves lactating titties. So I'm thinking like, and I'm like saying this shit, I'm like, sit on my face, and well, she's sucking my dick, just squirt your fucking milk in her face down while she's going down on me. She loves that shit. Oh God, this poor 21-year-old girl. Right? Like, I mean, she had a lot of long pauses. And this was...
No shit!
This was like a 40-minute conversation, and I'm just like, I'm being as raw as I possibly can.
You're definitely on YouTube today somewhere.
Yeah, God, I hope so. And then, so, I don't know, then I don't know, I must have said something that was offensive. I don't know. But yeah, I kept saying, yeah, I got this tiny dick and I'm gonna fuck your ear, and oh, you should come over. Oh, it was bad. Like, it was really rough. And so then as a few more drinks flowed, we ended up getting on the phone. I can't remember now what it was. And then, like 40 minutes later, after about 36 more drinks flowed, I tried to call back. Turns out I'm blocked.
No shit.
But, okay, to be fair, I did not text this girl.
Yes, she did start it.
She did start it. And so I'm sitting there thinking in my mind, because she was sitting there saying, like, I texted her going, you're the most special to me. Are you playing with yourself? Let's get together and stuff. And it's like, I may drink in excess from time to time, mostly. But I would remember, I would remember that because then I met you off of something. Which, I'm not a part of anything, but, there would be steps.
Yeah.
Right? There would be steps to get to you. Right? And
there would be an email the next day or something.
So December 3rd, apparently, is when I fucking texted her, and I'm like, oh. I'm like, that's delayed.
No shit. Wow.
So I'm thinking,
were not her first choice.
No, apparently not. So I'm thinking, and it's not like I haven't done this. Random phone call. I think we discussed this on the last episode or something. You just do it sometimes. I think that's what this was.
Okay.
Although, right? So what I told her, I'm like, yeah, I'm 57. So I was on this. I'm 57. It's like, oh, yeah, black guy. It's like, she's like, I'm not into old men. I'm like, baby, I'm jacked. And I drive an Audi. So I found a dark fella on Google that's just jacked. I'm like, here's a picture of me. She's claiming she can't get pictures. She's saying she's trying to send me pictures. So it's a lot of like, yeah, come on.
Yeah. Weird. Wow, well, that's really super.
But it was fun. It was fun, man. You know what? I think that I should have had the conversation videoed on speaker because it was fucking hilarious. I was
no
raw.
shit.
So
I feel like she definitely has this video if she's a real person.
and the guy, she's with some white guy, so she's into black dudes, which is all well and good, right? But she's got a white guy with her.
Wow.
And his name is Ryan. And I told her my name was Ryan. And then and this was the best part. I think this was one of my most fun part of the conversation. Well, no, I mean telling her to lactate in Naomi's mouth while she's sucking my dick was there was a lot of talk about threesome of her just lactating on Naomi because that's her thing. So that was a fucking blast. Just for the record, Naomi is not into being lactated on at all. But what sort of the funny part is now I completely forget my train of thought.
I hate when that happens.
Oh, I fucking hate that because it was hilarious. So I'm sitting here and I'm rolling around in my head and I'm going, okay, so what did we talk about, and all this, and because Ryan, I said Ryan was. Yeah, I got
the white guy.
The white guy. He did call. He said I sound like a newfie. Oh, that's what it was. I remember. That's what it was. Okay, so she's asking me where I'm from, where my people are from.
Yeah.
So I'm African. She goes, yeah, but what part of Africa? I said, what fucking difference does it make? It's just we're all one. We're all one people, right? I'm straight up being Bob Marley on this, right? I'm just like we're all one people. She's like, well, no, you can't put a Somalian and a Nigerian in the same room. I'm like, yeah, you can because you know what? We have to. We're all one people and we're all connected, right? We're all fighting the same battle. Right?
We have to.
Yeah, it was hilarious. So I totally went on the Martin Luther King fucking train and the Bob Marley train, and I was just like, are you judging? Like, are you racist? Oh man, it was fucking hilarious.
Well, fuck, that's a Saturday night if I ever heard of one. There you go. Holy
Friday
shit.
night.
Oh, well, even at least it was a party night. Yeah, that's a party if I ever heard of one. I asked you to bring a song
yes, I was gonna
that
say.
you liked that had a color.
Yes.
So, did you, and does it have a story?
Yes.
Okay, what's your song with the color?
Okay, so, Blue.
Okay. And is that the song?
This song, Eiffel...
Dabba-doo, dabba-dee.
Yes!
Yeah.
The story,
okay.
The story behind it isn't anything too crazy. I mean, at the time, it was a song of my generation for dance songs. My ex-wife's father, for some stupid reason, just loved this song, and just got very animated when this song came on or would request it and. Yeah, no, nothing crazy there. Usually I have some crazy stories about shit, but no, this is no, it's just it's a pointless, useless song.
Perfect.
But I was sitting there all day, and so right away when you asked me, that's what I came up with, and I sat there the rest of the day going, oh God, I have to do better than this. But
that's okay. You don't have to do better than that. I came up with Black Velvet because I liked your voice. I'm just hoping some of the other music-related questions I have 30 of these for us, are more stimulating of conversation.
Okay, so where are we going with this?
So, well, no, I have 30 of those questions, and I want.
You have 30 with
not for today.
No, but
for 30
colors.
Weeks. No,
oh, God.
no, for different similar things. And like some might be like a song you hate, a song from your childhood, stuff like that. So they're supposed to bring about conversation. I was a part of an online group that did this for 30 straight days, and it went great. It went amazing. there was so many people engaged in it, and this and the other thing. It went great. So I thought we might find interesting talking points going through one of these a week. So, but my first question was a song with a color in it that you like. So that's pretty blah.
So that is a dead end.
Yeah, that's a dead end.
And you have Black Velvet. So I do have a question though.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, for this episode here, and is there not a possibility, just an idea to throw out to our listeners as well as to you, we should have some sort of giveaway?
Yeah.
Right? I don't know what it is yet, and maybe that's obviously, well, not maybe, but obviously it's something we have to discuss. But we should have some sort of giveaway.
I like giving people stuff.
Yeah, and I think that we should absolutely be looking into that because, hell, we want to get back to our listeners. Our listeners make us.
Yeah, they're all we've got.
I mean, Naomi's our only listener that we know about in Ireland, all of it.
Yeah.
But
and you're already giving something back to Naomi, am I right? Okay, so go ahead.
I'm the pervert here, motherfucker. Don't try to take my spot. But no, I think that's something that we have to discuss. I think we have to do something maybe, monthly or something.
We tried to give away
a hockey table.
An old school hockey table.
Yes. Yeah. And how'd that go?
Not well.
Not well. Do you want to talk about that?
You sound like my therapist. No, I do not. No, I don't know. It didn't go well. We didn't have a big response. I mean, I think it might have something to do with the fact of what it was. It's big and takes space, and not everybody wants to just be like.
Yeah, but it's awesome.
It's good if you like that kind of thing. If it reminds you of your childhood, but otherwise we have smaller versions that fit in your palm. And they appear on your television, and they actually bend at the knees. So I don't think it's not everybody's jam. So I think that was the main thing. So we got to give away a PS4 now.
Okay? You gotta calm the fuck down.
Yeah,
okay? You gotta calm the fuck down. Okay, I know a lot of people that don't even have a Wii. Never mind a fucking PS4. So you just gotta relax here, okay? We ain't making money off this show, so.
Well, you can't give away a Wii.
No, you can't even give it away.
5-generation-old gaming system. That's not fair.
However, you can go and pay $2 for them at the Goodwill store.
Ooh, there you go.
Sorry, Nintendo gods.
Yeah,
I do want to do. We did do something in the show before, and I think that it's been lost, and I think that it's very important that we keep the tradition going. You have a fun word for it, which I won't remember. I don't remember, and even when you say it, I won't remember. So it's a good thing you do, but it's that shutout shit. The shin?
Oh, shill life.
Shill life.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah, I figured. I don't know. Like, I don't always have a household product kind of thing. It's just so. I mean, I've been started to recommend podcasts and stuff like that, and we kind of recommend a movie by virtue of analyzing it.
But I think we should have a specific shill life.
So, I mean, yeah, I did want to take some time to recommend podcasts.
So,
today,
yeah, and I and I have one, and so, yeah, I'll let you lead off. But I think that is an important part of a podcast is that we do. I mean, we talk about our lives, right? And the things, and then all the other random shit. So, there's zero reason that we can't be doing that on a regular basis, and I think that should be I think it's an important part of our show.
It's like a word of the day.
Well, it is like a word of the day, absolutely. So I'm going to let you lead off in this, but I believe that a shout out is always important because, I mean, again, it comes back to our listeners, right? Whether they're listening or not, maybe they listen.
Yeah, I feel ya, Aristotle. The first one so in the past when I've recommended podcasts, I've recommended a lot of drama and those kind of things and a lot of scripted programs. So I have a few today that are not so much up that alley. 3 of them are rewatch podcasts. The first one is Sock Cops Sockcast. So this is a character-driven, basically general discussion podcast. He interviews different comedians, this and the other thing, and he's a sock. Sock that's a cop. That's why he's called Sock Cop. And he hates speeders. And that's his shtick, and it's pretty funny. He's got quite a character, and he started off as a Periscope broadcaster, I guess you would say. And I don't know if you know of Periscope.
Jesus, no, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, that's
Even
fine.
with
That's
socks and hops and cops and I heard sock hop, and I'm going, okay, that's like a teenage dance. Right?
No, sock cop.
Yeah, well, okay, you have to enunciate.
He's a police officer who happens to be a piece of footwear. What Periscope
would sock hop not be funnier?
Well,
Because it's a piece of footwear, and then when you hop, it's on your feet, and you use your feet, maybe?
You're making this awkward.
Yeah, I am.
He interviews a bunch of people, but it's all a character. It's kind of it almost reminds me a little of Triumph the Puppet Dog or something like that.
God.
Like there's different
no one knows
stuff
what you're
kind of like
talking
that.
about.
So it's kind of that kind of thing. He interviews people. This is probably a horrible description. I'm so sorry. It's created and hosted by Jason Bergler. I hope I'm saying that correctly. And I've known of him for a while now. Talked to him on Twitter from time to time. This and the other thing. We've been involved in a few of the same circles. So he definitely deserves a shout out. The whole Periscope thing that I was trying to explain is like a live stream, so you can see him doing the puppet work and stuff like that. It's not live though. I don't think. I think you
puppet shit. I got a lot of respect for people that do that. So I mean that's a lot of hard work, a lot of planning. It is
a lot of planning,
awesome.
particularly.
That's awesome.
There's a lot of character work in it and that kind of stuff. So as you listen to it, like people are being interviewed by a character, which my opinion would be particularly challenging as somebody who sucks at interviewing people. See season 1. To stay in character and have responses for that person and reactions that are not even your own, I think deserves a pat on the back. That's very cool. And so the next, do you like the Golden Girls?
I did watch them, yes.
Okay. So the Golden Girls have a weird little like fan base now of people who, like me, really largely discovered them through reruns and stuff like that. And there is a rewatch podcast that strives to break down one episode of the Golden Girls every week, and it takes them a sizable amount of time, which I'm just absolutely a total nerd for rewatch podcasts. And that's called Let Them Eat Cheesecake. Let Them Eat Cheesecake. As I lose my voice, I knew that was going to happen.
Don't worry, we're just about there. Just hang on, brother.
Yeah. They got 4 hosts whose names I'm going to butcher if I even go after them, but it's called Let Them Eat Cheesecake. It's a Golden Girls rewatch podcast. It's pretty awesome. Very entertaining folks on there. Check that out. Another one that I have is a 90s rewatch podcast. I haven't been listening to this one as much lately because I have so many different things on the go that I'm listening to at the moment. But it's Oops, We Watched It Again. And they rewatch famous movies, horror movies, these kind of things that were kind of quintessentially 90s. And they give their takes on those and their breakdowns and this and the other thing. Both rewatch podcasts. And I'll also pepper in there one I've been meaning to bring up for a while is Never Seen It. That's hosted by Kyle Ayers and a host of his kind of semi-famous friends and collective group, Entourage there. And yeah, it's really fun too. So Never Seen It, the premise of that is they have people write 1 to 2 page scripts of movies that they've never seen. They also take fan submissions, which I've been trying to work on because I'd really like to get something on that show because I really like it. But yeah, never seen it. So yeah. Ta-da!
It's awesome. No, those are some awesome suggestions, not going to lie.
Yeah, and I actually woke up halfway through, so that was good. So what are your what do you have to suggest this week?
The tattoo shop here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
Yes.
Dusk Till Dawn. Okay.
We've talked about this.
Yeah, I just recently, as the last episode, says I'm a Care Bear now.
Yeah.
So for people looking for tattoos, like these guys are awesome. I mean, they're awesome. I deal with Matt, the owner. He's actually a very close friend of mine, and so for anybody that gets tattoos, you find that guy that inks you and you stick with him, right? So Matt's my guy. This isn't to say that the rest of the artists aren't amazing. Matt has spent a lot of time putting together one of the best teams I've ever seen, professional and amazing. So the shop is Dusk Till Dawn. You can find them at 5268 Marlborough Drive Northeast here in Calgary. And you definitely have to go and have a chat with them. So right now, they actually have deals until the end of the year. So December 31st, the deals end. I'm going to assume that means that on the 31st, the deals still exist. But Matt, who is the owner, he does realism colored roses for $150 to $200, which is about a half sheet. Right, so 13 by 18 centimeters. You got Andrew, who's such a solid guy. He's from Winnipeg. Don't hold it against him. But he's gonna do some black and gray, black work, pointillism, illustrated. You know, again, he's at $150, $200. Still a half sheet. But he isn't gonna do necks or hands. Melissa, she is an apprentice. We call her Mama Bear. She's brilliant. She has progressed, and she's been doing this actually for a long time. They do have her work in shop, her portfolio in her book, and she's absolutely solid. And she's doing a lot of color designs. She loves doing vintage flowers. And she's doing a quarter sheet at 100 to 150. Again, not doing necks or hands. So, Dusk Till Dawn is a fantastic shop. I mean, everything's clean, everything's solid, everything's legit. Their equipment is, up to date, top quality equipment. Obviously, everything's sterilized. Sadly, they don't do anybody under 18, even with parental permission. Just too many legalities behind it. But yeah, no. I've had a lot of work done, and never had to be touched up. So I keep going back. I'll tell everybody. So yeah, that would be my shout out. Really, you know, that would be my shout out. Like these guys are awesome. So.
Awesome. Well, I think both of us are starting to droop.
It's time to go to bed.
It's time to go to bed. I'm now sitting in a very dark room. I have to figure out what I'm doing. It's Christmas Eve here, for God's sake.
It is Christmas Eve.
That.
Yes.
So, got some presents to wrap. Last minute presents to wrap. Got some of that stuff
come, all ye faithful. Joyful and triumph. No, it's Christmas Eve. What the fuck do you want?
Oh, okay. That just seemed like a very drunken time to break into a Christmas carol.
Well, no, you just said it's Christmas. We're ending it. I thought that would be a good ending. Me just having a solo.
Oh, okay. I think we can arrange that.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm over it.
Okay. Well, we always end. You know how we end this show.
Do.
So I mean, really.
But I thought maybe a little something different. But no, I got rejected, and it's fine.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah.
Did you? Do you want people to be able to get a hold of you? You have no Twitter info in the outro because you don't really Twitter particularly.
I don't.
You don't have. There's no way to get a hold of you. Do you really want anybody to get a hold of you, or just get a hold of the show?
Our page, yeah, get a hold of the show. Yeah. And I mean, I am available through social media in regards to a number of avenues. However, you know, I mean, you and I talk all the time, like. We actually are real life friends. And so, yeah, if you got something to say to me, yeah, message the show. Paul's going to pass her on. I mean, I don't have anything specific that's going to be fun and witty and follow me, please. I mean, I just, you know that I have no idea how the internet works.
Perfect. Well, thank you for saying all that so that now I don't sound like an asshole for not having your info in the outro. See, people need to know that. Okay. So I think that's about it for us. If you're drinking this New Year's, don't get in a car and drive into anything. It's not worth it. You still got to work next year. So.
Well, you still have to
you don't
not
wanna
be
crippled.
in jail next year or kill people.
Well, that's what I
next
mean.
year.
Well, you can't be a paraplegic. You can't be in prison. You got shit to do next year. Remember that.
Absolutely.
It's not
Holiday
worth drinking and
season,
driving.
we all drink way too much. We all eat way too much. Even don't eat too much and drink. Because you fall asleep, especially turkey. It does have tryptophan in it, which is a drug that knocks you out. And that's why everyone's tired after eating turkey. But at the end of the day, yeah, absolutely. Here at the Stickcast, we absolutely are against drinking and driving, and we want everyone to have a happy and safe holiday season. So please don't drink and drive. There's a lot of services out there outside of cabs, so please look into it.
There's Ubers. There's Lyfts. Apparently, I've heard that across kind of like the spectrum of North America, Lyft is the less gropey one. You're gonna have more trouble with Uber drivers at 3 o'clock in the morning than you are with Lyft.
Did you know people can also take buses, cabs, trains,
planes,
automobiles,
but just not automobiles. No, because they're drinking.
Well, you don't drive them, right? You get like a gnome, a Christmas gnome. I don't fucking know.
You get a gnome to drive you home?
Just give him some phone books to sit on. I don't know. I got nothing. Anyways, we just want people to be happy and healthy and safe this holiday season. And you know what? The fines, the jail time, the accidents, the potential injuries and death that can be caused from drinking and driving. It's just not worth it. It really isn't.
And by listening to this podcast, you accept the terms and conditions, which clearly state that you have to stay alive until next year.
Yeah, it's okay to sit on a dildo if that's your jam, but yeah, just don't drink and drive.
Yeah, it's all right to sit on some jam if that's your dildo, but yeah, don't drink and drive.
Okay.
That's it for us. So on that note,
bye! Oh, come all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. No, it's Christmassy. What the fuck do you want?
Thank you for joining us on the Total Stickcast. The Total Stickcast is available wherever you listen to podcasts, including Google Play, Apple, Spotify, and Stitcher. We appreciate your ratings and reviews as they help other people find us and help us to grow. Please take the time to let us know what you think. The Total Stickcast is hosted and produced by Paul Johnson and features Ryan Blair and Terry Savage. You can connect with Paul Johnson directly on Twitter at OffTheLP or at everythingpaul.net. That's everythingpaul.net. You can find the Total Stickcast on Twitter and Facebook at Total Stickcast. You can also reach us by email at TotalStickShow@gmail.com. My name is Larry G. Jones, and this has been the Total Stickcast. Thank you for making us a part of your day.
TSN Total Stick Podcast Network.